University students here in the United States lend their voices to ending the violence in Sudan's Darfur region. Hello, I'm Dimiake Wakalielye.
And I'm Vincent McCory. Also ahead, a different image of Africa as a magnet for international investors. All this and more on today's In Focus. Well, we got quite a show with a lot of informative stories, don't we, today?
A lot of informative stories, as always, and that's what our audience obviously
expects.
In
focus.
Go for it.
Well, a US-based human rights group says 30 countries are at risk of violating a UN arms embargo on Darfur by either directly or indirectly exporting arms to Sudan. The group, Human Rights Watch, first identified China, Iran, and Russia as among the worst offenders. The violence in Darfur has sparked protests and peace campaigns around the world. VOA's Brian Padden reports on a group of students, activists here in Washington that includes a Sudanese refugee.
Makwe Deng and Justin Zorn, student activists for Sudan.
Making a difference in your world.
For Sudanese refugee Makwe Deng, coming to America to attend George Washington University in the nation's capital is the opportunity of a lifetime.
It was like just a dream.
Makwe Deng was living in Kakuma, a Sudanese refugee camp in Kenya, when he received the first and so far only scholarship awarded by an American student group called Banaa.
With the skill that I would get from the United States with the help of the Banaa, I would go back, work on the legal system so that people, instead of settling their differences in the battlefield, they could go to the court and settle them there.
And we're happy to report that we have right here the very first Banaa scholar.
Justin Zorn and other student activists co-founded Banaa and brought Deng here on the condition that leaders like Deng will return to work for peace in their native land.
I grew up hearing about the legacy of the Holocaust and hearing about genocides before that, such as in Armenia, Cambodia, and how we had an obligation as citizens of the United States, but really citizens of the world, to stand up whenever genocide occurs.
Zorn says members of Banaa want to effect long-lasting change in Sudan. Through donations and grants, they raised $24,000 and convinced George Washington University to fund the first scholarship. Zorn says he hopes to offer scholarships at other universities. For Deng, the work is more challenging than he anticipated, and he is often up studying till 3 in the morning.
Depending on me, he will see whether it would be a success or a failure. So I'm trying my best to give them the right image of what the Sudanese are.
For Zorn and other student activists at the university, hearing firsthand how Deng and his family fled certain death in Sudan to his life as a refugee in Kenya has forced them to re-examine their own lives.
Working with students who've survived this, I think, has given me a sense of the privilege I've had in my life that I never really, although I was aware of it, knew it.
It will take years to determine what impact Banaa might have on building peace in Sudan through education. But through this first scholarship, Justin Zorn and Makwe Deng's lives have already been changed. Brian Padden, VOA News, for Making a Difference in Washington, D.C.